All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So today is actually the last day to extend specific players on your roster. Today's Monday, July 17th, and there's some big names being talked about here, right? Of course, Evan Ingram did re-up. He signed that 3-year contract worth over $40 million. I believe early yesterday morning, and the attention is now on two big name running backs, Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs. Now, with Saquon, we've seen numbers floated around. It does seem like the Giants are going to be keeping Barkley, in-house. But with Josh Jacobs, on the other hand, we've seen reports that the Raiders and Jacobs are far away on a potential deal, long-term extension. There's a report that Josh Jacobs is going to skip training camp if he does not get his long-term extension. So because of that, we've seen a lot of different Josh Jacobs trade ideas thrown around, right? Should he get traded to this team, to that team? Would he make sense here or there? And one team that I've been seeing a lot of is the New York Jets. Obviously, we have to take into consideration Breece Hall's health and also understanding that the team has a pretty significant level of interest in Dalvin Cook. And we're looking at Josh Jacobs, okay, a younger back, somebody who led the NFL in rushing last season with over 1,600 rushing yards. Nuts. Something even crazier, he had 53 catches for, context here. It's more than Berrios. It's more than Elijah Moore. It's more than CJ Uzama, more than Corey Davis. That would have been, I believe, third on the team behind Garrett Wilson and Tyler Conklin. 53 catches from the running back position paired with 1,600 plus rushing yards is like madness. And then you factor in that Josh Jacobs also had 12 touchdowns. In other words, he was a massive part. He was the majority of the Raiders offense a year ago. I don't really get the sense that he's slowing down. He's falling apart. For me, it's the opposite. It really seems like he's really starting to hit his stride. You start looking at some of his accolades. I mean, man, he has a long list. Obviously, first team All-Pro last season, two-time Pro Bowler, Jim Brown Award winner last season, and going back to college, not only was he just a first-round pick, but he also won the national championship back in 2017. So, it's clear I like Josh Jacobs a lot, right? I think he's a fantastic player, and I think when we're thinking about a potential Josh Jacobs trade to the Jets specifically, it's kind of ironic or kind of like a paradox, because on one hand, I love Josh Jacobs. If news breaks, whatever it is, tomorrow that the Jets are acquiring Josh Jacobs, I'm going to be, freaking pumped up. But on the other hand, I just don't see Joe Douglas making a move like this, right? Understanding that we gave away a pretty high pick, probably going to be a first-round pick next season to go get Aaron Rodgers. Looking at the free agency market right now, we have many options that range from different impacts all over the place, right? More high-end, obviously Dalvin Cook, and there is interest there. We can go down the list and talk about Kareem Hunt, Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette for maybe a cheaper option. So Douglas is in a position where he's looking at the running back room saying, okay, well, if Breece isn't healthy, right, if he's not good to go by week 1, obviously we want somebody in the building to help supplement that. How long will it take Breece to get healthy? These are just questions that, I don't have the answer to. A lot of people don't have the answer to right now. Hopefully we'll get a better feel as training camp moves along, which starts this week, by the way. But let's assume the worst here. Breece Hall isn't good to go. It's going to take 3-4 weeks to really look like the same player. Bring that same explosiveness to the table that we saw last season and, throughout his long career at Iowa State. Douglas can now say, all right, let's just hit the free agency market. If we really want like a top end guy, we can go out and get Dalvin Cook. If we, just need like a supplementary back, somebody who's okay being a number 2, let's go get Kareem Hunt. If we need just that veteran presence, somebody who could really come in and help in the blocking aspect, goal line situations, let's go target a Zeke Elliott, right? Maybe not spend a ton of money on the position. Whereas with Josh Jacobs, you're getting a game-changing player. Not only would you have to trade something. Keep in mind, we don't have that first round pick for Rodgers. Now we have to go out and give an additional pick, assuming it's a pick in next year's class, to the Raiders, get Jacobs in the building, And the reason why he's not happy with the Raiders is because he wants that long-term extension. Are the Jets in a position right now to hand out a big money extension, making Josh Jacobs one of the highest paid running backs in football when we already have a really young running back room? To me, I think running back should be a short-term fix for however long Brees is expected to. I mean, it's a weird topic because this whole Brees Hall health thing is just it's just up in the air. We don't know if he's going to look like the same player. That's the expectation week 1. If not, what do we do? I just don't want the Jets to be in a panic mode situation where they're having to overpay for somebody, right? We get through 2 weeks of preseason and it's like, yeah, Brees Hall, we're going to need another month and a half. What do we do? So I think for me, when I look at how Douglas has just ran this team, throughout his tenure, it just doesn't strike me as a move to where it's like, all right, we're down a draft pick. Let's go out and give another. Let's get a young back, right? One of the best backs in football. Last season, by the numbers, the best back in football. And now give him a big money extension. What does that mean for the futures of Brees Hall, Michael Carter, the other younger players on this roster? So that's kind of my take on it. Not saying I'm right or wrong. I am not against Josh Jacobs, not in the slightest. Again, if news comes out, whatever, later today, tomorrow, the Jets are, deep in talks with the Raiders for Josh Jacobs, I'm not going to come on here pissed off or, all upset. Like, what are we doing? No, that is, a game-changing type of move. But if the Jets get Jacobs in-house, it's like, all right, we're really looking at having Brees Hall and Josh Jacobs. Like, that's easily the best running back room, not only just in football, but in my opinion, in years of NFL football, to think about Hall and Jacobs on the same roster. So for that reason, I just don't see it happening. But again, not saying I'm right here. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.